Tony Stark arrived at the technology expo in his Mark 6 armor. He quickly found Rhodey and told him about the crisis he was facing. But at that moment, all the remote-controlled armors at the event suddenly activated. They locked onto Tony Stark at the same time. Everything was part of Ivan Vanko's plan. To avoid hurting innocent civilians, Tony Stark had no choice but to retreat. War Machine and the flying armors immediately chased after him. Thanks to the powerful performance of the Mark 6, Tony Stark easily avoided their attacks and used his incredible mobility to escape the pursuit. Meanwhile, the drones controlled by Ivan Vanko rushed out of the expo hall and began attacking the crowd. One of the armors locked onto a young boy, but instead of running away, the boy stood his ground and bravely copied Iron Man's pose. At the critical moment, Tony Stark arrived in time and destroyed the armor. That moment planted the dream of becoming a hero in the boy's heart. On the other side, Black Widow successfully located Ivan Vanko's position. She broke through layers of security, but discovered that Ivan Vanko had already escaped. However, she managed to reboot War Machine's system.
Yeah, thanks.
But the crisis was far from over, because all the remote-controlled armors had already restored their attack programs. Tony Stark and War Machine fought side by side, facing a massive army of drones. The two completely trusted each other, constantly covering one another during the battle. But there were simply too many enemies. With no other choice, Tony Stark had to use his ultimate move. Get down! However, this move could only be used once. Just when the danger had not yet been eliminated, a figure suddenly descended from the sky. It was Ivan Vanko, returning for revenge. This time, he was wearing a special armor he created himself. Facing the new enemy, Rhodey was already prepared. He activated the scanning system to help the Mark 6 identify the weakness of Ivan Vanko's armor, but the missiles fired by Tony Stark failed to damage the suit. Instead, Ivan Vanko's electric whips showed terrifying power. The first strike destroyed War Machine's weapons instantly. The second strike sent Tony Stark flying as he tried to attack. Then Ivan Vanko used both electric whips to trap Tony Stark and Rhodey at the same time. He began draining the energy from both suits. If this continued, both of them would be killed. But in this desperate situation, Tony Stark finally came up with a way to fight back.